It's a great day for some bear porn as Bitcoin heads below 90,000 bucks. And make sure that your kids are listening right now because they need to see the bear porn. They need to understand the bear porn. They need to know. They need it for their own knowledges. And I actually wasn't even planning on recording a video today. I'm going to be recording this one from the airport at this point as we get ready to leave. But with Bitcoin coming down pretty hard, I did want to follow up on yesterday's HPDR analysis. If you remember from yesterday's or the end of yesterday's video, we went over the weekly HPDR for CME and said, hey, with Bitcoin having an open and close below the median, very likely Bitcoin is going to test the bottom side of the 38.2 level, or at least that would be, the new sort of weekly range low. And that test has actually been fulfilled here with the move down on CME to 87,500 bucks. Now Bitcoin, trying an attempt at a bounce, I guess. And with that in mind, that it is kind of, I guess, likely to at least attempt for a bounce here. I do want to state that the rest of this video, or before we get into the rest of this video, that in the short term, there can very easily be bounces. There probably will be bounces. They might even be decent bounces as well. But the higher term timeframes are now really starting to set in stone, and we only have, a couple days left in the trading month to go. So first, I want to bring you over here. This is the monthly chart for Bitcoin. One thing really bothers me right now. Multiple things really bother me right now, but the monthly has traded below January's low. And of course, if it closes below here at the end of February, still has a few days left, which would be 89,224 on the index, then that would be a confirmation of a major reversal to me, alongside monthly momentum crossing down, as it will officially come down here if Bitcoin closes the month out below 92,700, and also would be initiating some regular bearish divergence from the monthly stochastic oscillator between the highs of March of 2024 and then the highs that we saw here in early 2025. So I do think that massively changes around, a lot of the things that I've been looking at on the higher term timeframes. If you recall, coming into, I think it was since about November, I think I released the video in November, that I believe that this cycle is very likely to end. At that time I said before the end of Q1 of 2025, and then I extended that to the end of the first half with possibility for Q1. Looks like the initial sort of analysis on that is going to be right here, or at least that's certainly what I'd be leaning towards as of right now. When we go over to the monthly RSI, we can see that this is also going to be combined with multiple drives of bearish divergence here coming off of the last major highs. And also I should add that the monthly RSI is going to be losing this moving average on it. So again, not the best sign. And technically, coming back down to retest this prior high from 2024, or just, anywhere around that yellow 21 exponential moving average, which again will move obviously with each and every passing monthly closure, is going to become more and more likely, it just would generally be likely, assuming that this condition is met by end of month. So again, there's a few days left, there is a possibility that things get salvaged. Of course, there's always a possibility, but as of right now, with Bitcoin, especially below, I would say 95,000 bucks, I'm just going to be generally bearish here, or 95,000 is what I'd be saying. So when I go over here to the daily time frame as well, I did not call this out on yesterday's video, but I did make a Twitter post about it a little bit later in the day when I noticed it. The daily time frame has initiated a downside silver cross right here, with the yellow 21 exponential moving average trading to the underside of the green 55 exponential moving average. Last time that we saw this happen was actually back in August of 2024. We've seen it a few times actually in 2024 during, I guess relative corrections, but as long as this is met, in combination with the hash ribbon signal also not being printed, I'm not going to be talking about any sort of long-term long positions, and I'm going to be looking at bounces as well, just that, bounces. So again, with Bitcoin's last lower high at around 100,000 bucks, it could theoretically pop up all the way to 95,000, 96,000, 97,000, and still be at the lower high. That's kind of the problem with things right now. And I suspect that I probably will bounce, whether it be at the end of this month or to open up March. But, I do think that's going to be an opportunity to maybe let go of some, maybe let go of some positions for the people who still have long positions, assuming that you're not liquidated at this point. Shouldn't be laughing about that. I do apologize, but it's not. It really is not funny at all. But at the same time, I do think that there probably will be a chance. Of course, I thought that there was going to be a bounce, or at least another bounce near the end of February, and obviously that's not happening right here. So, when you're playing against the overall trend, that is when it is, well, no longer your friend. And when we go over here to the weekly, I'm reminded that Bitcoin on this current move to the downside has done something of great significance. The one thing that always makes me change my mind on anything on the market highs and the market lows, and that is the trend here. The weekly trend is the most important thing for Bitcoin long term. And as you can see, it did take out January's low. Trading below January's low, does essentially confirm this as a reversal. And so, like I said, I'm going to be generally looking for downside. Yes, there will be bounces along the way. Areas of interest to the downside, let's call it like $75,000, I guess. And then, honestly, I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin undo most, if not all, of the November rally. This is also coming in combination with the monthly look on tethered dominance. So we've been looking at this, this is actually, or let's actually go to USDC and USDT dominance. It's not going to really make a humongous difference here, but we do see a reversal here as well. And we do expect this to play inversely with Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market. So, what does that mean? It means when stablecoin dominance goes up, cryptos come down. People are kind of flying to stablecoins, which is some form of safety, I guess. And historically, that has been very true. You can see it obviously on the tether dominance chart, but I do like to use this chart over here just because, theoretically, this one should be better. Anyways, what I wanted to point out is that one, we do have a reversal, and two, we see regular bullish divergence on the monthly stochastic oscillator, and the monthly stochastic oscillator is continuing to the upside here as long as this thing's above 629. It is trading above 7% right now. If we look at tether dominance for the same information, same shit over here, has a slight amount of bullish divergence, but it is certainly present. And we will see this one officially flip back up in terms of momentum, assuming that tether dominance closes above 487.5. So, again, like, that makes me really consider that I think what's happening here, if things are going to be bullish long term, is that we get a mini sort of bear market similar to 2021 when Bitcoin came off of the first high of $69,000 and came down about 50%. I'm not saying it's going to be a 50% move, but somewhere around this moving average, and then had its second wind. So that can obviously take a long time. I mean, this took 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 or 5 months for it to really get going. That would take us into the second half, obviously, of this year, if that were to play out, with Bitcoin coming down, much lower first, finding a low, hopefully, in the upper 60s / low 70s, and then reversing from there. So that is that was rather powerful to me. Also, of course, because I get a million questions. Maybe I shouldn't even talk about this thing at all. But I get a million questions about the hash ribbons indicator signal. Again, it is not printed. Now with Bitcoin coming down so significantly from yesterday's video, or even the past week, the signal is once again unpredictable. So, like I've been stating for the past few weeks since we started speaking about this, these signals are in no way, shape, or form playable until you actually get them confirmed. If you front run this, you're going to pay the price, and that's why I have rules for myself like this. Of course, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but I'm just I'm just relating to what can, and in this case did happen from that perspective. So just another thing to be aware of right here. Here's what I would say on the other side, though. There are two things in combination that would make me bullish again, I guess is the right way to say it. One would be this signal printing alongside the daily silver cross once again being to the upside, which right now it's obviously to the downside, and there's no threat of it reversing as long as Bitcoin right now is below $97,000. So maybe I should move up my pivot from 95 to 97. Realistically, it's going to come down to about 95 anyways. But yeah, you can just see that, things are going to take some time. Here's the thing though, as I do get prepared for a flight, I should actually let you know we're going to be going to the old time zone, so you're going to get the very early videos yet again. And what else do I want to say? And I'm going to be scheduling the video for Wednesday. It's about Bitcoin lows in March. You'll notice obviously that the price on screen is much different than the price, is right now. You can just apply the same numbers to that price. Those numbers will still stay consistent. Anyways, yes, so we've got that. We've also got over the most hopium situation. Yes, and then also, of course, like I said, in the short term, look, if Bitcoin bounces, that's fine, whatever. To me, it doesn't. I don't think it really matters at this point. Bitcoin it could easily do a move like this. That's what Bitcoin does, and then come down. But or also, I should say that might even be in some ways kind of likely, because you traditionally do get a bull trap before things have a major reversal like this. And so, popping back around here, I think would probably be good enough. But time shall tell. Perhaps I'll wake up off the plane and Bitcoin's back at $100,000. I mean, something that Bitcoin would do, I guess. But for now, like I said, as long as these conditions are still met, I will have to remain overall bearish. Bounces probably in between, but it can take its time. And with that said, I'd like to wish you the best. As always, take care, much love, and stay safe during these harrowing times.